All right. Hello, everybody. This is a impromptu episode of the Thriving LDS Singles. And here with me is Jim.
I'm an LDS single.
And he's an LDS single. And we're going to do a quick interview and hear more about Jim. You're going to tell us about yourself, right?
Oh, wow. I want to know about you.
Jim is, I know you're from Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard, born and bred.
Yes. And you've actually done a lot of interviews, right? Of amazing people.
A few.
Not
hundreds,
a lot.
several hundreds.
So Jim has all kinds of stories he's going to tell us about. So
well, let's see here.
give us a little background.
Oh, it's great to be out here in the Mountain West. Rocky Mountains are a beautiful place to be, but I grew up on a little island, and because of the influence of my joining the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ. Anyways, it wound up drawing me here to Salt Lake City area. And, I was involved with the first Olympics, and now we're excited to see the 2034 Olympics coming along.
Yeah.
But I lived for, about 41 years on Martha's Vineyard, all told, growing up. But the last 20 years, I was really part of the island and everything that was going on there. And had a lot of fun with TV. And
did it always used to be famous?
No.
Okay.
Growing up, and then when I left the island, it became famous. It all started when Carly Simon invited Gilda Radner and Jane Curtin to come to the island back in 1975. They were on the Saturday Night Live cast, the original, with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. And then they would have these wild parties in Menemsha. And I was a teenager at the time. So every once in a while, I get to go to some of those parties. And all I remember is a bentwood rocker in this cottage. That's all I remember. But they were fun. And then my first cousin, Jeannie, married Huey Taylor, James's brother. And there he goes walking behind us.
Yes, we should mention that this is my son's wedding.
Congratulations,
I know.
Kim. Your son's he is married.
He's married.
Gone.
He's just left.
Wow.
So
what a fun interview.
Crazy. Yeah. So there'll probably be all kinds of chaos in the background. I apologize. Hopefully I can.
It adds realia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really going on. We're under warlike conditions here.
This is true. It'll probably be very chaotic.
Yes, that's fun. You never know what you're going to see or what's under the table, like these dogs.
So I don't know. We might have to do a lot of editing on this.
Yeah, it was great growing up on the island and being in a place that turned into a worldwide, world famous resort. Of course, the movie Jaws was filmed there in 1974. And I was actually in Jaws as an extra. It was a lot of fun meeting Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, and let's see, who's the director? Steven Spielberg. Yes. Anyways, meeting them before they were famous. And it's nice to meet people before they were famous and continuing on with those lifelong friendships. So anyways, and then years later, I found myself back at Martha's Vineyard after a divorce and kind of landed on a farm out there, a 25-acre farm, and had some sheep, and it just got connected up with the community and teaching out there. And there's no place I'd rather be than right here right now. But Martha's Vineyard was a great place to be back then.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So now what do you do here?
I just I raise chickens. I mow lawns. Hello. I'll be speaking in Chicago at a conference of Ugandan parliament people from the opposition party in Uganda. Of course, they had a dictator there for 34 years.
Wow.
They're trying to affect change. And we just had a diplomatic group come over a month ago and meet with members of the Tabernacle Choir and the president, Mike Levitt, and then the chief of staff for Governor Cox. So we're trying to get some things going in Uganda. They need some change. They've had a terrible dictatorship there. And if we want peace and liberty to grow in Uganda, we want to help give the people hope that might be down the line. So I do a lot of different things, but mainly I would say I'm
what are you speaking on?
I'm a professor. Oh, I'm gonna I'm going to speak on Uganda. I have a background, basically a State Department background with foreign affairs and knowing how to grow maize and millet in sub-Saharan African soil.
Wow.
I've been, oh, hello, dancers. I've been involved with a group called 100 Humanitarians, and that's a great group. They're supported by the USANA Foundation, and I've helped to finance and be part of the muscle that was involved with putting in some water wells and built a community building so
Wow.
they could do some oral histories and have computers, and I'd be able to help channel and some computers from Utah Valley University and other things, uniforms and soccer balls from Utah Valley University, the largest university in Utah with over 45,000 students enrolled. Anyways, it's been a lot of fun.
That's
So
awesome.
I have since we had some change and transition in our family structure back home after my mother died, it enabled me and freed me up financially to do a few things that I always wanted to do. So
And you took care of your mom for a while, didn't you? While
yeah,
you're-
she had a stroke, and then I went back for 3 years and
Hmm.
took care of her and helped her out, and I grew and thanks for remembering that. But you learn a lot when you serve others. Life is like a volleyball game. You only score points when you serve others.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. So anyways, it was a lot of fun to go back there. No, it wasn't actually. It was it was really hard. But
You take that back.
yeah, I take it back. But it was nice to be close to family and really remember what is important and see how much I could be stretched. Everyone was stretched to give and sacrifice, and that's part of the values that you need to have that will keep your relationships, any relationship, vibrant and strong. You have to be willing to look at a situation in your relationship, and if you come to a disagreement or something comes up, you just say, hey, we can fight about this. And I call it the 4Fs.
The 4Fs.
4Fs. You can fight,
Mhm.
and you can fight passive aggressively.
That's true.
Not talk about it. That's a type of fight. It's
Yeah,
defensive warfare.
that's true.
Or you can flight, you can flee from it. You don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
So fight or flight. We've heard of that lots of times.
Mhm.
But there's also a third step you get to, and that's when positivity comes in, and you take a positive change and you say, hey, let's identify the problem and try to fix it. Could you help me fix it? Well, first of all, let's identify what it is. What do you think could be improved on? And then when you identify it and you kind of agree and you talk and, oh, I didn't really know that.
Gather data.
Yeah, gather data and just talk about it and go to a nice place. Don't have these discussions in the bedroom or, at the dinner table, and don't do them late at night.
When the emotions are high.
Yeah, don't do them when the emotions are high. Just think about them. And the fourth F is the reason why you do all those things, because you want to be friends. You want to be friends. And when you want to be friends, that's when the real growth and healing from years long, something in your past happened. And yet you just keep reliving that. But you have to learn to unthink or rethink the way you have been kind of trained your whole life.
Yeah.
So 4Fs.
4Fs. I like that.
Yeah. So you've been you had a long life here in Utah.
Jim's used to being the interviewer.
Mhm.
He's turning the tables on me.
I didn't. Sorry. I had fun doing that with in about 3 weeks. I have an interview with Alan Dershowitz. He's the chief legal counsel for Israel, and Israel is really a hot spot. It could wind up. We're just sending the United States is sending, as we speak, they're sending an aircraft carrier and a squadron of fighter jets over to the region to be ready to back up anything that Israel might need help with. So, I'm going to be asking Alan Dershowitz some questions, put him on the hot seat, and find out from the actual attorney for the state of Israel just what they can do legally, what options they have, and things, of course, he can't say, but things that he could legally share with me.
And
share with you.
does he live on Martha's Vineyard now?
Yes,
Okay,
that's his
where he
permanent
lives.
residence. And this will be my 6th interview with him. So
Awesome.
looking forward to it.
Will we be able to find it on the Jim Powell? Will you
Yes.
post it as a Jim Powell
Yeah,
report?
it'll be part of the Jim Powell Report, number 6.
Awesome.
Alan Dershowitz.
Very cool. And we'll put the link when we do the interview, I'll add the link to your,
Thank you.
although I think I looked and
You have to go through
there's a channel. You have to go
Martha's
through.
Vineyard Community Television.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Mhm.
Very cool. That should be a good interview.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And Alan always says, he pushes my notes away. He says, you won't need those.
Really?
Yeah. And then we go through and he knows just what he's going to say. And I don't want to say it's predictable, but I've learned to ask him the questions that he likes to talk about.
Well, I feel like this one will be really important given the climate that's going on there.
He's actually been in the tunnels that Hamas dug and constructed underneath the streets of Jerusalem, and they would come up near schools because Hamas, who is the terrorist group for Iran, in Israel, they're doing their work there in Israel, and then the Houthis are doing the work of Iran in the Red Sea, and the Houthis are the terrorist group there. So when you kind of learn who the players are, but anyways,
should be interesting.
it should be interesting. Yeah, it will be.
So as a thriving LDS single,
Mhm.
what do you think is important for singles to know, or what if you had to give some advice to singles our age, 40 plus?
Make sure you show up at
age.
firesides because the refreshments are good.
Is that your advice?
That's my advice. Men, show up for the refreshments and say hi to the ladies and talk with them. Don't just stand in a corner or on the wall.
Like that.
Go over and talk with them. But if I can just give you an incentive for the brownies and the cookies, the Utah County Singles Association is world renowned. They're great. That's where we met just 2 months ago, and
That is where we met.
mhm.
And it was a really good conference.
It was excellent. They had great topics, and I feel self-actualized now. I'm doing much better.
Wow, that was impressive. So, but I like your advice because, actually, many single adult firesides. It took me a while. A couple times I would just drive there and then turn around before I actually got there.
Mhm.
And then
The
I'd go
fear
in.
factor, another one of the F's.
Yeah, I'd go in and listen to the fireside and then leave.
Mhm.
And now I actually sit down at a table and chat with people.
Mhm. Yeah, just
It
talk.
take a lot of time though, many times of me going until I
Mhm.
finally got to that
See,
stage.
they're boring people. They're scared people. They're wounded people.
Lots of wounded people.
But
I feel.
we're all in the same boat together, so you might as well just say hi. I'm Jim.
Yeah. And nobody's been rude or said,
No,
why did you come over and talk to me?
no, that's good. That's good.
So it's unwarranted fear is what I'm
There's
saying.
no charge to the firesides. They're free. You can get free refreshments. Guys, get out there, free refreshments, and find ladies to talk to. All you have to do is say
And
hi.
sometimes they have amazing topics too. I actually have found a lot of
Oh.
people to interview on the podcast.
How about Michael McLean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was amazing.
Whoa.
He's really good. We've
I
had
wish
some
I could
amazing
get
ones.
him. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So any other advice?
For singles?
Mhm. Especially being a man, because I can give plenty of advice to women, but
Mhm.
I don't know your
Well,
perspective.
And good. Well, I appreciate
Good.
that. I appreciate that. And thank you for having me on this interview because I think it's very important. Guys don't spend as much time networking and talking about their feelings as I believe in general. If I could dare make a generalization, women have really good networks where they can share their feelings. Guys walk up to each other, give each other a fist bump. Hey, how's it going? You know, 29 days till the football season starts, that type of thing. Oh yeah, it's great. So, learning to develop the ability to verbalize your feelings and understand and look for patterns in behavior. And like, gee, I can never get a girlfriend. Well, hey, maybe you should change that shirt that you bought in 1990. you know? Do you still have cologne from your previous marriage in the cabinet that your wife gave you on your wedding day? Now it's time to clean out the old stuff and do things that are new. And you really need to start afresh with all things. De-junk your house, big thing, guys. You can't have I saw this in a bachelor's apartment. About 24 pairs of basketball Nikes, different ones. I thought it was in a clothing store, a shoe store. You've got to get rid of those and make it so that somebody that comes over to your house, if you're lucky enough to be able to invite her for dinner, learn how to cook or learn how to serve a pizza that you ordered at your house. And, you've got to remember that you're half the problem. You're your own worst enemy. Guys, you're your own worst enemy. You're your own worst enemy. So be willing to take criticism. Take it like a man. And, what helped me? I got to tell you, my cousin Robin helped me to write a vision board. What's a vision board? Well, a vision board is a long sheet of paper, and you write down goals and things that are important to you in a person, not just in the woman you're looking for to be your queen, but what are you going to give? Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So you need to kind of write it like a formula and visualize it. So you see these things in front of you, because guys are visual. We're hunter gatherers. That's what we do. Okay. And, guys in general, need some visual stimulation to get them to move, to act. And it's in our nature. So, but we're good at that,
I like that thought. You were telling me, I think you mentioned, or we really didn't get to expand on it very much, but you were talking about not just the vision board, but like, how do you invest in yourself to become a good partner, right? Isn't that what you were saying?
Yeah. Well, you can look at, of course, you can read all the books, the 5 love languages, and, are you a gift giver, or are you to validation, or, go through, and everybody harps on that. What color are you? Are you a red, yellow, or, but just learn to know the nature of your beast and realize that you're a product of the environment you grew up in, your parents, the type of relationships you've had in the past. Maybe they're not working, and you need to realize, maybe I need to find somebody who has a similar love language or love languages than I do. Because if you're trying to give and the other person doesn't know how to receive the gifts that you're giving, then it's going to be hard for them to appreciate them.
Sure.
So if the other person isn't used to validating and giving compliments and saying, hey, I like the way that you had the faith and the fortitude just to say, hey, come on over, my son's getting married.
Do you want to do an interview?
Come and meet the family.
Meet the family?
Yeah. So anyways.
Crazy.
Wow. And I like to do things that are spontaneous, and as long as you have nothing to hide, it's easy to know what's going on. Oh, I think they're dumping the ice cubes in the back.
We told you there'd be a little bit of chaos.
This is real reporting from Alpine, Utah.
It has been an amazing day, I have to say.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what an awesome day it's been watching my little boy.
I like the dancing at the end.
Yeah,
it was really fun. Yeah, it was good.
It rained and the dance floor was wet, so it was a little scary, but we did.
We danced.
Good dancing.
Yeah, we did. It was fun.
All right. Anything you feel like you need to share?
So we talked about relationship. You have to have a roadmap on the road to a happy relationship. And one of those things is a vision board. If you don't know what it is, just Google it. Vision board, and then start making one. And it's nice if somebody else is running the keyboard and typing up statements. They can be 4 or 5 words that say, I'm looking for someone that enjoys gardening. So just gardening. Someone that doesn't keep score. I'm looking for someone who has blue eyes or whatever. Someone that likes to dance, that dancing is important, that likes to travel. Traveling is important. that doing genealogy, or to go through different hobbies that are things you think you could share. And then and then type those up and print them out and then put them on one side. And then on the other side, what are you going to do? Those are things that you want, but what do you think she might be looking? She might want to spend some more time. I will learn to spend more time asking questions like, what do you think? I will work on not drinking so much Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper and working on my health or whatever, my
There you go.
diet. Okay.
My yesterday in the ceiling of my son,
Mm-hmm.
he's told him that the man always gets the last word.
Really?
Yeah. And then he said, it's yes, dear.
It is, yes.
That was his advice.
That's all he gets to say is yes. I like that. Okay.
But I like your plan of thinking about not just what I want, but what am I going to contribute?
Yeah, it's a formula, and you just need to follow the formula, and hopefully you keep working it and tweaking it and refining it, and working on it, being patient. Then it sets up conditions where then another person, the law of attraction, that they will appreciate that and come towards you and say, "Hey, big boy," and get to know you better.
Do you think, so once you get something like that in place, I'm wondering, do you feel like you have to have everything on the list, or once the vision board is created, then it's maybe not so much about the vision board, but who comes into your.
Mm-hmm. And also that maybe what you wrote at one time was good at that one time, and that things can change when you get to certain forks in the road. Like I was talking with you about the movie Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp, and
Which I'm going to watch.
the rolled out paper that shows this oraculum of time, like an oracle would talk about what's going on, and that you are part of that. It's a living history that moves and changes, and that you want to include Heavenly Father and the Spirit. You want to tap into that so that you have a reflective connection with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings, so that you don't have expectations that are really unreasonable. And say, okay, Heavenly Father, what would it take for me to connect up with this person? Or of these 3 or 4 people, which one would I be happiest? And he's going to say, what do you think? Come up with the reasons.
I like including Heavenly Father in the
Yeah.
decision-making process.
Mm-hmm. And, if you're not the praying type, then, you can just say, hey, go out there and look at the mountains and talk to the mountains or the creatures and the peace, and just kind of put it all together. And like growing up on the island, we would always go for a walk on the beach, take our shoes off, ground ourselves by walking along the shoreline and thinking things through. And it's amazing how when your body is made out of seawater and you walk in the seawater, it just kind of purges. Whenever we get cuts on our feet, go walk in the ocean, and it heals, it cures, it just, you need to have a place where you go and
to ground yourself.
So that principle, be grounded when you're thinking about a relationship. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, Kim.
Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
All right.
Good for our show today.
Thanks for
You're welcome.
joining me and
You have a
crazy
great connection.
adventure.
Yes, great connection. Appreciate it.
All right. We will see you guys later.
Thank you.